my ex-wife and I had a baby who was born prematurely. This was back in 1989. And Garrett ended up passing away from crib death. They called it SIDS. And it was at that point, it's the lowest you can be whenever you lose a child. And I really didn't have God at that time. I prayed, but I really didn't know who I was praying to or praying for or praying about. So it was after Garrett passed away, went into the deepest, darkest holes I could find, trying to deal with the loss of a child and now the broken structure of a family. And I remember very vividly how God approached me. I remember in that deep, dark hole, just absorbing myself into drinking to numb the pain. I think most Christians go through similar situations when they have such a horrible tragedy. They find ways to find an outlet. And I remember going into the bathroom, just having horrible thoughts and looking in the mirror, but not seeing my face. It was distorted. It was not me looking back. And I remember God saying, "You need to find me." I'm getting emotional here. Didn't think I'd do that, but that's okay. But God said, "You need to seek me, search me, find me." And it was at that time, maybe a week later, the neighborhood knew that we had lost a son, and a gentleman called. And he goes, "Hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Reggie. I heard about your son, and I'm really sorry to hear about that. I know how you feel." And before he could even finish the sentence, I chewed him a new one. It's like, how dare you say you know what it's like? How dare you say anything about how you know how I feel? Come to find out, he had lost a son. He was the pastor of the church that I was going to be going to. And it's like, oh no. But Reggie and I became good friends. And that started my journey into Christianity because it gave me compassion for other folks that had lost others. We started a support group called Hope, helping one another, providing encouragement. And in doing so, it helped me heal. And unfortunately, when you have a couple, a family that goes through the loss of a loved one, sometimes there's divorce. And the stats I want to say are like 85% couples divorce. And unfortunately, my first wife and I divorced. Now I'm lost. Now I don't have a church. I don't have a wife. And it's like, now what am I going to do? My wife here, Melinda, her middle daughter, or her youngest daughter, said to me, "Mr. Bill, how come you don't go to church anymore?" And I said, "I don't know, sweetie. I don't know." She goes, "You need to come to my church." And I said, "You know what? I think I will." And that was the start of going to Mandarin Seventh-day Adventist Church. And that was right around 1998, I want to say. So I'd spent a year or so away from church. But when I got there, it's like all things changed. I really got to experience Christianity at a different level, truly understanding what the Sabbath meant, truly understanding what being a servant is, And I then became just so headstrong into that church. I've held a position in ministry for 22, 23 years up until this past January, where I took a sabbatical. But it's been an exciting journey. It really has.